One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet whom millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
What's up, everybody? Ooh, got a late start jumping in here. Thanks for being here. Let me just get my sound set so I can actually hear people talk and everything will be fine. All right, guys, we got a debate tonight with Donald. Not a debate. That's right, she backed out. She's not going to be here. So what we have is a town hall meeting with Donald Trump and taking questions from the audience. And then, of course, Sean Hannity is going to be moderating. I know a lot of people aren't into Sean Hannity. Yeah, it happens. But tonight, I think he'll do a good job in moderating this town hall. So I'm looking at everything, make sure he has not come on. Obviously, Hannity does not come on until 9 p.m. So we're all good. So for the next 27 minutes or so, we're going to talk amongst ourselves. So I want to talk to you guys, again, keep the people in Appalachia High School in your prayers. Not much information came out. No, there's a couple of people who died, but not a whole lot. And we're not going to hear, just understand, we're not going to hear a whole lot. That kid was 14. There's not much going to come out. They may dig, but if you check the news right now and put his name in Google, there ain't a whole lot there. But something else happened today that I didn't see coming for these particular people. I did know that, based on my last couple of videos, you did indeed see the writing on the wall. And what I'm talking about is the censorship, the attack that the deep staters, the left, are going to wage against people like me, other YouTubers, and they need to shut us up. So Barry, you may be thinking, what are you talking about? Well, today, about what time was this? About 5 o'clock p.m., the Department of Justice dropped a huge, huge bomb. In this bomb, they said Tenet Media, whose roster of people on their, who they pay, include Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, and Dave Rubin, who, I guess collectively, or if the company received $10 million from the Russian government to publish content as a part of the Russian influence operation. As of right now, nobody, and I do mean nobody, knows if that's even true. But it doesn't matter. The fact that what has been alleged at this point, and you saw my video earlier today, and you're like, the Russians are coming. It's Russia. It's all Russia. Oh my God, the Russian Vladimir Putin. Oh my God, they're going to take over the world. They're going to stop us from electing the anointed one, Kamala Harris. Oh gosh, what's going to happen? We got to stop the Russians. And now, just like Elon Musk has said, and what they've been doing to Elon, they're going after people a little bit at a time. And it doesn't even have to be true. It doesn't matter. This thing may not even be adjudicated for years to come. But that's not the purpose. The intent here is to basically stain these guys. And now they've got to defend from all different directions what's going on. Is Benny Johnson, is he eating borscht? Is he friends with Vlad? Same thing with Rubin and Tim Pool. You notice Tim Pool got included just the day after he said he was going to sue the Kamala Harris campaign. And then this drops today, and it's like, are you kidding me? All this happens? So full disclosure, I do not personally know Benny Johnson. I do not personally know Dave Rubin. And I don't personally know Tim Pool. Of course, I've seen their work. Of course, I have followed them and listened to what they say. They're great content creators. But now, what these guys are going to be subject to, even if they're not the ones who are under investigation, they threw the net over these guys. And who knows what the people here are going to do? Are they going to try and restrict their reach? Because they might be wrapped up in the whole Russia thing. The fact of the matter that they even brought their names up and tied them to this, if they weren't part of it, then you didn't have to let people know that this was what's going on. If the company, Tenet Media, did some crazy stuff, then go ahead. Go after them. But if these guys weren't involved, then maybe you should have just not disclosed all that information until you were sure. Because right now, they're in jeopardy. That one document that dropped today has now put 3 major conservative content creators in jeopardy. More full disclosure. I have never, ever even been contacted by Tenet Media. Don't even know who they are. I get probably 50 or so emails per week from people wanting to partner and do this and do that. And as of right now, the only partnership that I'm working on is Lear Capital. It's a shame that you have to say that. The only money that I get, actually the only money that this entire channel gets, is basically from the ads that run and for you people who donate. That's it. I'm not taking on any investors. I'm not taking on any big companies that want to go ahead and just give you money. They're out there. And the lure of that money, big money, is what some of these people are going to get entrapped with. And now we're seeing these guys, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, the New York Times jumped on the story. And of course, they put it out there. A new DOJ indictment alleges that RT employees covertly funded and directed a U.S. company with $10 million in order to push pro-Russian content. The company is based in Tennessee. There is one media company based in Tennessee with the same phrase listed in the indictment, and that's Tenet. But it doesn't matter that it's just an indictment. Nothing has been proved yet, because now, of course, the orcs have something to chew on. And they're actually going to go after these people. And here they are, posting their pictures. The indictment specifies that 2 of the people who work for this Tennessee company were deceived, meaning they didn't know that the Russian government was running an influence op. Dave Rubin has 2.4 million subscribers and Tim Pool has 1.37. Benny Johnson almost has 2.4 million, but they apparently rounded down from 1.37, blah, 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 blah. And they're listing pictures, and they're saying some more legwork in this thread on identifying the other unnamed and very lightly masked commentators in this indictment. But it doesn't matter. Now you've got the stain on you. And what people come in and say, stop. Just stop. Deceived, please. They're guilty. This is raw meat for the left. These guys are irrevocably stained at this point. No one's going to believe a word that they said. Meaning they didn't know that the Russian government was running an influence up. Everything these MAGA conservative UC put out is obvious Russian influence. We've been beating them over the head trying to get them to realize or admit they all have Russian ties or they're Russian funded. So Tim Cass is merely a useful idiot, not a traitor. Were they really deceived? It doesn't matter. This is saliva-inducing red meat for the nuts. I feel sorry for these three guys and whoever else is wrapped up in this thing. Their careers may effectively be over. Now what they know is, so now we've got Department of Justice people looking at us. It ain't going to be pretty. They're going to start digging and digging and digging into these three guys. Because now they've got a reason to go dig into them. This was posted, and it says, so just to clarify, because I think it's important to note, the indictment alleges that the founders of the company, Lauren Chen, and her husband intentionally deceived the influencers mentioned, seemingly Dave Rubin and Tim Pool, regarding the source of the funding. So the indictment says that they were intentionally deceived. Doesn't matter. They don't care. Thank you for giving us the red meat. Have you checked into Harry Sisson to find out where his money's coming from? Or David Hogg? Nope. But now you've named three conservative commentators and you've put them up and served them up like piping hot dinner to the nuts. It forced each of them to actually come out and make a statement. Benny Johnson posted, a year ago, a media startup pitched my company to provide content as an independent contractor. Our lawyers negotiated a standard arm's-length deal, which was later terminated. We are disturbed by the allegation in today's indictment, which made clear that myself and other influencers were victims in this alleged scheme. My lawyers will handle anyone who states or suggests otherwise. No, they can't, because immediately, of course, Catter said, I'll stand with you. But here comes here come the nuts. The indictment wasn't leaked. It was unsealed, you Russian stooge. Nothing says you support the First Amendment like threatening to sue anyone that ridicules you for pushing Ruski propaganda. You're such a tool. It wasn't leaked. It was released. And then, of course, here come the memes. These guys are in huge trouble. I mean, absolutely huge trouble. They'll try to persevere. Knowing the stuff that they've put out, they will try to push forward. But every time they make a post, you can bet, here come the trolls. They're going to be all over these people. All over them. Tim Pool had to come out and put out a statement. Tim Pool says, my statement regarding allegations and the DOJ indictment. Should these allegations prove true, I, as well as the other personalities, were deceived and we are victims. I can't speak for anyone else at the company as to what they did or what they are instructed to do. The Culture War podcast was licensed by Tenet Media, and he just goes on and talks about it and letting everybody know, I didn't have anything to do with this. Yeah, well, you know what? Here they come, real quick. Show us communications between your organization and Tenet. We need to verify this. You got community noted for calling it leaked. Most of your salary funded by Russia. Who will be funding the Kamala HQ lawsuit? When are you changing from a beanie to a Ushanka? You can see what's about to happen. These people are going to be attacked to no end. It's going to be merciless. It's an indictment. This is a country where you're innocent until you're proven guilty, and they're not going to be proven guilty because they weren't indicted. But it doesn't matter. The guilt by association, that stain that is now on them, they might as well have done it and taken the money from Russia themselves. Their business is irrevocably stained. Dave Rubin, he came out and said something. These allegations clearly show that I and others were the victims of a scheme. I knew absolutely nothing about any of this fraudulent activity, period. People of the internet was a silly show covering viral videos, blah, 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 blah. And of course, right away, did you post things for money without fact-checking or questioning the things you were posting? I think upping your game on due diligence might be a good idea. Are you going to give them money back? If you're a Russian propagandist, you're not great at it. Kind of feel like they should sue for breach of contract. I knew absolutely nothing about any of this fraudulent period and a picture of a bunch of Russians. These guys, I'm going to say this, and again, I don't know, but based on the fact that they weren't indicted, they don't deserve this. I mean, essentially, what they just did by dropping this lawsuit or indictment has pretty much put these three guys, I won't say out of business, but they're in peril. At this point, who knows what's going to happen? So, no, I wouldn't take money from any company that I can't get directly to and find out who that person is that runs that company and how they were funded. You got to know. If you're starting a YouTube channel, understand, especially if you're starting a conservative YouTube channel, understand the arrows are out for us. And this may be a good time for them to move everything to Rumble, because if somehow she ekes out a win, they're done. They'll be the first ones gone. They will come after them with everything they possibly have. Probably come after me too. I'm much smaller. I don't have millions of followers yet. But you can see how the government is beginning to lay things out, what they want to do. They'll go after Elon Musk. They'll go after Rumble. It's just a matter of time. That's why it is so important that we make a decisive, very clear message and make it too big to rig, which I'm sure we'll hear tonight, and just let everybody know we're not going to take this anymore. Otherwise, free speech is something that you'll remember after January of 2025. Yeah, I remember when we used to have free speech. Not now. JD, and that's what I really want you to do. Don't back off. These guys are going to need your support right now. Make sure you come here and watch my stuff too. But make sure you just keep watching these guys. And I understand there may be some danger in doing so. At this point, they may be tracking everybody who watches their stuff. I don't know. Who knows? And saying, okay, there's one. Oh, we need to look at this person, that person. I don't know how deep the rabbit hole will go. Barry, the truth doesn't matter to the left. Nope. Not at all. They could care less. They'll bury those guys if they have to. Be careful, Barry. They want to take down all conservatives who are speaking truth. Yeah, but I didn't take any money. I don't know who Tenet is. Never met Dave Rubin. Never met Benny Johnson. Never met Tim Pool. But I like their stuff. I've consumed much of what they put out. I think they're really, really good content creators. I think they have paved the way and shown people what you can do. I think all three of them are quite innovative. Dave Rubin has a more television broadcast style. Tim Pool, he's got a panel that he has on his shows, and it does really well. And then Benny's quite the character. Everybody has their little niche of the world, and they try to do the best they possibly can, and they want us to all shut up. When am I going to change my moniker from fanfare to warfare? Yeah, really. So very, I just said that. Did it come out? Yeah, that came out. Tom Fitton from Judicial Watch. Are they after him too? Was he part of Tenet? I don't know. That might be another one. This is the cornered animal DOJ you have been talking about. She's in big trouble. They know she's in big trouble. If you watch this afternoon's video, it shows you even more this woman's in big trouble. The polls, almost by the hour, are showing her tank. She's just going down and down and down. And now, despite not talking to anybody for quite some time, she's decided they're going to take the next 5 to 6 days off. Today's the 4th, so she can't only take 5 or 6 off, and go into deep debate training. I don't know how you guys learn when you were in college or anything, but cramming is very, very hard. Because when you cram something, you're trying to memorize as much as you can, but it means that you really don't know what you're cramming. And so, this woman's going to get stuff thrown at her from left to right. Okay, you have to understand what this means. Okay, you have to understand what this means. But she doesn't understand what it means. She can repeat it. She can ingest it and then spit it back out, but she won't know what the hell they're talking about. And Trump needs to make sure that people know that at this point that this woman hasn't ever run a business, won't know anything about it. She can get up on a teleprompter and talk about, we're going to give entrepreneurs this, and this. It's going to be fantastic. And Trump can just ask her, okay, so if you want to do a $50,000 tax credit, how are they going to get past all the other regulatory stuff to make sure that they can actually take advantage of a tax credit? And what are you going to do about this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this? And she's not going to know what the hell he's talking about. She's going to have to rely on zingers, and she's going to have to rely on the moderators to bail her out, and which they probably will. And then Trump's going to have to basically use his knowledge of business and direct these questions directly at her. Don't wait for the moderators to do it. It's gonna be a softball layup type questions for her. But he's got to be strong enough to basically keep his cool, and then basically just go in and dump it on her, hit her hard, very hard. So before we were at 8:52, let me take a few things. If you stand by your beliefs, you would not need to cram for a debate. Yep, I already know it. What are you cramming for? What are you going into 5? You've been the vice president for nearly 4 years, and you got to go into 5 and 6 days of intense training to be able to talk about what you've already done? How does that make any sense? How does that make any sense to anyone that will be watching that debate next week if it happens? Who knows what her numbers look like over the next 4 or 5 days. If she's going to go into hiding, Trump's going to have a free path. So he's got this thing tonight with Sean Hannity in about 10 minutes. He's got a speech tomorrow. He's got a speech the day after. He's got a rally on Saturday. He's coming. He's a closer. He's going to come hard after her. And she's going to have no retort for 5 or 6 days. Nothing. She was not even going to be out there. I'm sure her Kamala HQ people will lie and say, it's Project 2025. Misinformation there. Yeah. Cramming means she got nothing. Yeah, if you got to go into basically hibernation at this point to try and make something happen, you ain't got it. Ain't got it whatsoever. I think cramming and all-nighters meant something but completely different to Kamala. Oh boy, you guys make me laugh on this one. Oh, we got trolls in here? Yeah, okay, of course they do. And then she's gonna, you know what else she's gonna have to do? She's gonna have to distance herself from Biden. You've told people you're the last person in the room. You told everybody, hey, listen, I've been right there with Joe. Do you think the moderators are going to say, well, did you notice that he was basically sliding off his seat, had nothing left upstairs? You've been telling everybody how sharp he was. He's fantastic. What happened? Did just on the debate stage he just fell apart? How'd that happen? I don't know how she withstands the onslaught of questions. Now, before those guys begin, I just want to talk to you about Lear Capital. I don't know if you guys have seen the news, but as this stuff gets crazier and crazier, the markets are going to get crazier and crazier. Friday, I've got information about the jobs report that's going to be coming out either tomorrow or Friday, which ain't good. Ain't good again. They're trying to do everything they possibly can to prop this woman up, and then report after report comes out. And so Friday or Thursday night, another jobs report is going to come out, and it's going to be horrible. Absolutely horrible. Wait till you see it. and who knows what's going to happen with the market. There may be some profit takers or something going on, but it's crazy. It's so volatile right now. You've got to put yourself in a position to make sure that you're protected, your family's protected. Somebody sent me an email, said they want me to do a video on prepping. I'm going to see if Robin will come on with me and she can talk about the things she's done. But if you can, get yourself involved in some gold. You know that inflation is still on the rise all across America, and our dollar is being devalued more and more every single day by the Federal Reserve and their massive money printing schemes. So you have to ask yourself, are my investments really safe? I doubt it. Listen to this. Government debt is growing at the rate of $1 trillion every 100 days. Since 2020, every dollar in your wallet has lost 24% of its purchasing power. And in just the last 18 months, what you need to survive as a family, your groceries, your necessities, have gone up by $11,000 per family. These are unsustainable and outrageous numbers. That's why I'm recommending that you call my friends at Lear Capital. They'll show you how easy it is to move some of your assets into gold and silver. You know, assets that are growing in value instead of keeping them in a dollar, which is declining in value. And as we approach the election and with all the volatility in the world, now is the time to take some action. Call Lear today at 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com. When you go to Lear, you'll be able to download a de-dollarization guide. It will show you specifically how your dollar is deflating every single year. There's no obligation, it's just free information. You'll learn how to protect your hard-earned money with gold and silver. Just so you know, Lear has over 27 years of experience, thousands of 5-star reviews, $3 billion in trusted transactions, and is the only company with a 24-hour risk-free purchase guarantee. Call Lear at 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com. And when you give them a call, ask how you can get $15,000 in bonus gold with a qualifying purchase. Okay, we're back. I got a comment here that's basically so true. This one here. You know the polls are bad when they've gone to Russia as the topic. Yes, indeed. They're extremely, extremely bad. Getting worse literally by the hour. If you guys follow Polymarket, that thing updates constantly. And already it's showing a huge separation at this point. So we're at 8:58. Obviously, you know, Hannity comes on at 9, so we're 2 minutes out. 2 minutes out. I can only afford popcorn, and I do it one kernel at a time. Come on. Come on. Hey, trolls, why didn't you... I can't put that up. They're out there. They're definitely out there. Oh, the trolls crack me up. They absolutely crack me up. They got nothing to say. Nothing. But I'm not from Russia. I've never been to Russia, never going to Russia. We have no Congress fighting for America. It's all a show. It absolutely is. So when this comes on, which is in about 2 minutes, I'm going to go to the full screen, let them do the introductions, and then we're going to post some comments, and I'll stay quiet for the most part. Might laugh at something they say, but it's going to be a good one. So those of you guys who've never joined us before, this is sort of like a watch party. So I'm going to put it up on the screen, and we'll be able to talk. And when I say talk, comment live. You'll see people making comments about what they hear. We all know what's going to happen. This is something that obviously Kamala Harris could never do, would never do. They won't let her. They won't even let her say anything to the people as she's getting on a plane and going somewhere. It's really bad. She's losing some stuff in New Hampshire. Barry, how do you pick out the trolls? Well, I've got some people in here. SV, Cindy, Tommy Lawrence, my daughter Ashley. If they're all in here tonight, what they do is they just see what they're saying, and they put people in timeout and let them know, behave. And if they don't behave, then they're told, go away, never come back again. Give you a couple chances to be an adult and talk about things, but if you can't, then you got to go. Sort of like your parents. Say, listen, pop you on the butt, do the right thing. But if you don't, then we got to hit you. Then we got to hit you. So I'm looking here, and they're just ending the Jesse Waters show. He's doing his mail, so we can take one. Let the trolls stay. Yeah, let the trolls say they might they might exactly learn something. Somebody said you should mention the Walt subpoena today. No, that's for tomorrow. We're going to talk a bunch about Walt. We're going to talk about his family. We're going to talk about that huge subpoena. Excuse me. We're gonna go over the Waltz thing. So it's straight up 9 o'clock, waiting for the change to happen, where they go to the screen, and Jesse's just wrapping up, and boom, he's saying, "It's my world. You're just in it." And let's go to the cut. Hopefully they won't have any commercials during the town hall, but if they do, they give us time to talk. And here we go. Let's see. I'm just cutting the sound while they're playing music, just in case that's some copyrighted sound. Now they're cutting to, as you can see, they're in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, with Sean Hannity.
In just a minute, former President Donald Trump will join us for an hour. In part, he will answer your questions. Think about this. In just 13 days, early voting will officially get underway across the Keystone State. In a few days, just mail-in ballots will go out in other states. And we are only 61 days from what I believe is an inflection point for the country. That's less than 2 months away. And that's the 2024 election. The race.
I need you guys to let me know if you can hear, if the sound is okay.
Poll has Donald Trump up by 2 in this state of Pennsylvania. This state could very well decide the entire race. Nationwide, the Real Clear Politics average shows statistically it is close, a tie in these states. Meanwhile, left-leaning statistician Nate Silver is giving President Trump a 58% chance of winning the Electoral College. But that, too, remains close. Trump is now trending up in Nate Silver's model and multiple polls after Kamala's long-lived honeymoon phase now finally appears to be over. Her one and only interview was a whopping 16 minutes and 30 seconds of talk time. I've done a lot of interviews with Donald Trump. I promise you, not one has gone under an hour. She has yet to hold a single formal press conference in 45 days after her coronation. She won't even take unscripted questions from voters at a town hall. Later on, we will be taking questions from this audience. She apparently pretended to be on a phone call to avoid reporters on the tarmac. That was yesterday. The truth is she doesn't have a good answer for her radical beliefs or sudden flipping and flopping and flailing or her horrible record in the Biden-Harris administration. She keeps saying, well, I'm going to deal with inflation on day one. I'm going to deal with the border on day one. Day one was January 20th, 2021. So Kamala and her far-left emotional support, Governor Tim Walz, are now hiding in plain sight behind their teleprompter, short scripted events. Democrats are hoping that Kamala can win on vibes, phony proclamations of joy, and even phonier proclamations of freedom. But in reality, the vibes haven't been the same since Donald Trump left office. Let's look at the facts. Under the former president, Americans had more money, less debt. Housing was more affordable. Food, clothing, insurance, gas, everything was more affordable. Interest rates were at record lows. The world was a more peaceful place. The border of our country was secure. Americans were more safe and secure in their towns and cities. So what happened to this country in the last 4 years under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? And I asked this audience in Harrisburg, are you better off than you were 4 years ago today? Now, here to answer that question and many more, let's give a warm Harrisburg, Pennsylvania welcome to the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
That's not me. Okay. That's a huge crowd for a town hall meeting.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Sean.
How are you, sir? Great to see you. Grab a seat.
Okay.
Get comfortable. Oh.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. David. Wow.
Wow.
Nice crowd.
I would say
It's a big crowd.
You know, I mentioned we had this terrible shooting in Georgia.
Right.
Our prayers are with our friends in Georgia. And I've been doing town halls and interviews in public with you for all these years since you got into the political arena. And I told this audience, never before have restrictions been so tight, obviously after the assassination attempt as well. And Director Ray said the threat level has never been this bad. He said it 5 consecutive times before Congress. What is going on?
Well, it's a sick and angry world for a lot of reasons. And we're going to make it better. We're going to heal our world. We're going to get rid of all these wars that are starting all over the place because of incompetent American leadership. And we're going to make it better. You know, Viktor Orban made a statement. They said, bring Trump back and we won't have any problems. We were very strong about that. So we're going to hopefully do very well. We have an election coming up. And actually, you know, they keep saying 60, but it starts in Delaware and North Carolina and other places a lot sooner than that. So we're going to be, I think we're going to be very well set up to do a great job. And do we love Pennsylvania? Do we love it?
Let me ask you. Mr. President, let me ask you this. Between
Kamala's toast.
this is a very tough interview.
One thing I'll say is that we did great in 2016. We did much better in 2020. We got millions of more votes. But there has never been enthusiasm like we have now. I mean, I see it all over. There's never been anything like it. And I hear the polls are very close and we have a little lead and I just find it hard to believe because, first of all, they've been so bad. They've done such a bad job, but that's why the enthusiasm is so good, because they never had anything to compare it by. You know, I ran and I didn't have anything at all. I just was a successful businessman and we did a good campaign. But the next time we had something special. We could talk about what we did, but we never could imagine we'd have borders where 20 million people have poured into our country. Many criminals from all over the world are coming into our country. They're coming from jails, from not just South America, from all over the world. They're coming in at levels that nobody's ever seen. They're coming from prisons. They're allowing prisoners to come out of all countries. They had almost 180 countries represented over the last number of months. 180. Most people don't know that you have that many countries. They're emptying out their prisons and jails. They're emptying out their mental institutions and insane asylums. They're emptying out the sickest people, and they're emptying all into the United States. And you said it better than anybody. More terrorists have come into the United States in the last 3 years than I think probably 50 years. There's never been anything like it. These people are so bad. They're so dangerous. What they've done to our country is they're destroying our country, and we can't let this happen. If they won, you'd have not 20 million, you have 100 million people. You won't have Social Security, you won't have Medicare, you won't have anything already. If you take a look at the numbers, they're filling up and loading up Social Security, Medicare with illegal immigrants that have come into our country, many of them from jails and many of them from very bad places. And we're not going to destroy our country, Sean.
Well, I'm going to play Kamala Harris and the comments that she has made about the border, because I think this is important. I want to play her in her own words about this. You're right. We have people, almost 11 million plus. We don't know how many gotaways there are. We have hundreds of known terrorists that have entered the country. We don't know what countries they've come from. We're allowing people in. They've come in from Iran, Syria, Egypt, Afghanistan, China, tens and tens of thousands, Russia, Venezuela. I don't think they're coming here because they want a better life, as maybe some other people are. And we know nothing about them. We haven't vetted them. I scroll the names often on this show of people that have been murdered, people that have been raped, people victims of violent crime. And this is all happening by unvetted Harris Biden illegal immigrants. What is your, well, I can play your tape. I'll play that maybe after your answer, but what is your reaction to you've spoken to some of the families of loved ones.
I said at the beginning, I said, I heard they were going to have open borders. They want open borders. She wants open borders. Now she's all of a sudden saying, oh, I think we'll close the borders. She was the border czar, whether you like it or not. But even if you don't want to use that term, she was in charge of the border. It's the worst border in the history of the world, not just here. There's never been a country that allowed 21 million people to come in over a 3-year period. There's never been. And 21 million people, many of whom are from prisons, many of whom are murderers and drug dealers and child traffickers. And by the way, women traffickers. You know, women trafficking is the biggest, and they're traffickers in women. And they're coming in now, and they're putting them in our Social Security accounts, and they're putting them in our Medicare. And just one thing, if you take a look over the last week, I said this was going to happen, and it's happening. Because these people are tougher than our criminals. Our criminals are nice people by comparison. That's the only good thing. We're showing how nice our criminals are. They came from 22 people recently came from the Congo in Africa. Where do you come from? Prison. What did you do? We refuse to say. We're letting everybody in. We're letting everybody in. Take a look at Aurora in Colorado, where Venezuelans are taking over the whole town. They're taking over buildings, the whole town. And the sheriff, who can blame them? I mean, they have AK-47s. You saw it the other day. They're knocking down doors and occupying apartments of people. The people are petrified. And it's getting worse and worse. You look at New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and now you look at all over the place. You take a look at Iowa, Idaho, places that never had the problem. They're pouring in. 21 million people, that's bigger than New York. And we have to stop it. And we have to do the largest deportation in the history of...
Let me play for you. And this is really a problem for the campaign, in my view, is early voting's about to start, and I don't know how many Americans are truly familiar with her positions of decriminalizing illegal immigration and free housing, health care, education. Tim Walz wants free college education, legal driver's licenses.
I was so honored today.
And she wants a path to citizenship.
His brother endorsed me.
I saw it.
And his whole family. I saw the picture. And honestly, it was a very nice looking family. But his brother endorsed me, and the whole family endorsed me. I said, who are all the people?
Let me tell you,
there's something weird with that guy. He's a weird guy. JD is not weird. He's a solid rock. I happen to be a very solid rock. We're not weird. We're other things perhaps, but we're not weird. But he is a weird guy. He walks on the stage. There's something wrong with that guy. And he called me weird. And then the fake news media picks it up. That was the word of the day. Weird, weird, weird. They're all going, but we're not weird guys. We're very solid people that want our country to be great again. I mean, it's very simple.
Let's play Kamala in her own words on the issue of immigration.
This whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
You support giving universal health care, Medicare for all, to people who are in this country illegally?
Let me just be very clear about this. I am opposed to any policy that would deny in our country any human being from access to public safety, public education, or public health, period. We have to have a secure border, but I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented and cross the border as criminals. That's correct. The border is secure. Listen, I think there's no question that we've got to critically re-examine ICE and its role and the way that it is being administered and the work it is doing, and we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
And now she wants to offer a path to citizenship, which by any definition would be amnesty. Your reaction?
But, well, before you even start with that, of course it's ridiculous. You can't do it. No country could sustain this. But she wants no fracking in Pennsylvania. She wants no fracking. And she said it 100 times. There will be no fracking. There will be no fracking. There will be no fracking. Then just recently she said, yes, I could approve fracking. Look, this is a woman who is dangerous. I don't think too smart, but let's see. But she loses her train of thought a lot. She goes, that's why she doesn't want to do interviews. Can you imagine her doing an interview like this or like any of them? I mean, she did an interview with Dana Bash on CNN. And, you know, I have to tell you, Dana Bash did the debate with Joe Biden with, I used to call him Fake Tapper, but I don't do that anymore. You know why? Because he was very honorable and so was she. And I thought that she would give a fair interview based on the debate because she was fair. I was surprised, to be honest with you. I didn't expect that, but she was fair. I thought I did well. I don't think he did too well. Although a friend of mine said, you shouldn't have done the interview. He's not going to make it. And you know what? He didn't make it. You know, think of this. It's very unfair in a lot of ways. I complain about it. But she ran against him in the primary. She got no votes. And she was the first to leave. 22 people or something like that. And she dropped. She was down to nothing, never even made Iowa. And he got 14 million votes, and they threw him out. They said, we want you out. And he wasn't going to win, I don't think. I mean, I don't think he was going to win, but we did a good debate. We had a good debate, and it was a fair debate. And he was down like 18 or 19 points after the debate. And I hate mosquitoes. I'm surprised. I didn't think we had. We don't like those mosquitoes running around. We want nothing to do with them. And we want nothing to do with bad politicians that hate our country, too. You want to know the truth. But they went to him and they said, we want you out. You're not going to win. And it was really a coup when you think about it. And the woman who came in, the person that came in last, I mean, she came in last. She was the first one out of all those people. You had many people that did pretty well. It was actually close at the end. And then in South Carolina, and by the way, New Hampshire was so badly treated by the Democrat Party and by Joe Biden and her. I can't imagine New Hampshire voting for him. Anybody in New Hampshire, because they're watching right now, but anybody in New Hampshire that votes for Biden and Kamala, I really think, I call her a comrade Kamala because that's what her ideology is. But you know that she did something after decades and decades and decades. It was Iowa, the first two, Iowa, New Hampshire. And that's the way people thought it was going to be. He didn't want to go to New Hampshire. He didn't want to play the New Hampshire game. And so he went to a different state. We won't mention. It's a great state. I won it by a lot. I love that state. But he dumped New Hampshire. And I said to people today, who the hell from New Hampshire would vote for this guy? He changed the whole primary system. He changed the whole system because he took them out of the order. I think it's going to have a big effect. We really want to win New Hampshire. I've done well there, and we really want to win New Hampshire.
Let me go back to the issue, and it's a big issue in the state of Pennsylvania. and you mentioned it. And let me just tell the audience so everybody is fully aware, is that tonight Fox offered a debate opportunity between you and Kamala Harris, and I was not going to be here, but it was going to be Brett and Martha.
This was supposed to be a debate.
Right. So
I would have preferred.
I figured.
I think he's a nice guy, but I would have preferred a debate.
Thanks a lot.
But this is the best we could do, Sean. This is the best we could do.
You're stuck with me.
No,
let me though play, but there's a big issue in this state is the issue of banning fracking. Now, in that, I thought it was a horrible interview and a missed opportunity. Do you know, for 16 minutes, she spoke for 16 minutes and 29 seconds. And that whole interview, the only interview, you and J.D. Vance have done, this is your 36th interview or press conference between the two of you. And we don't know if she supports the Green New Deal she co-sponsored with Bernie Sanders that would cost $93 trillion. We don't know if she stands by that. We don't know if she supports Medicare for all that would eliminate all private health insurance. We don't know if she would really ban fracking. Now, in the CNN interview, she said, well, I said in 2020 that, I would not ban fracking. CNN had to fact check her and say, no, she never said it. This is what she really said.
Will you commit to implementing a federal ban on fracking your first day in office, adding the United States to the list of countries who have banned this devastating practice?
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yes.
So would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes. And I've, again, worked on that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you're a better businessman than I am. Isn't energy, fracking, oil the lifeblood of the world's economy?
So the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania cannot even take a chance because that's the real opinion from her. Now, the whole country would go down the tubes if you didn't do the fossil fuel thing. It just would go. And you can do all sorts of other things. But, you know, Germany tried it, and it lasted for about 9 months, and they were going to go down the tubes entirely. And somebody else came in, and I hate to say, they're building a coal plant every single week, and they're building nuclear, and they're doing a lot of things. It's never worked. It never will work. But Pennsylvania can't take a chance that that answer is true. But she's been there for 20 years. That's what she's been saying for a long time. And she will do that. There's no chance that she's going to allow it. The election will take place. If she won, you're not going to have any fracking in Pennsylvania. You have 500,000 jobs. Think of that. It's your biggest business. And you get a big majority of your income from fracking. And you have somebody that's not going to allow fracking. She's not going to allow it. You can't take the chance. You have no choice. You've got to vote for me. You've got to vote for me. You've got to. Even if you don't like me, you know? Yeah. It's no, but even if you don't like me, you can sit there and say, I can't stand that guy, but there's no way I'm going to vote for her. No, you have to have fracking. You know, you're the biggest in the country for this. You have two of the biggest sites in the world. It's a massive business for Pennsylvania. And you can't take a chance. She will not allow fracking. She's not going to, and she's got a lot of other problems too. But for your particular, for the Commonwealth, you have no choice
if I may,
but to allow it.
16 minutes and 30 seconds are up. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
The president has spoken for a total of 16 minutes and 30 seconds.
I'll say something else.
Real quick, because we got a break.
If you watch that interview, she had notes. That means she knew the questions, and she had notes. She kept looking down, up. Nobody wants to cover it. I know all about notes. I mean, you know, it's all right if people know that, but she wasn't supposed to have notes. So she's asked a question. She looks down. She keeps on. She had notes. That means she knew that she knew what was happening.
Did her campaign, when they said that they wanted to change the rules that they had agreed to, did they ask for notes? Did they ask for the?
They wanted notes.
They wanted to be seated, and they wanted your mic hot.
And they wanted a desk. They didn't want to do. I said, you got to do a stand-up.
After they already agreed to the other.
Yeah, but they wanted a desk from the beginning. You know who else wanted a desk? Sleepy Joe, he wanted it back.
All right, we got to take a break. More with President Trump. We are in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We'll continue our town hall. We'll get audience questions and much more. Thank you.
All right, so when they come back, you're going to start taking questions from the audience. When they go to the commercial here and they come back, I'll cut right back to it. So right now they're running a commercial, and we can take some more of your comments. As you're seeing right now, when they come back, Hannity just said they're going to start taking the questions from the audience, which I can't wait to see. I'm not sure how many people are watching, but thank you very much. It looks like it's a big crowd. I know at this point the moderators are having a hard time with all these trolls, but that's all Kamala has. They want to come into conservative areas. It's not a safe space. If you got something to say, we'll listen. But if you're just trolling, the people here, the moderators are going to catch up with you and bounce you. But if you got something to say, say it. He said something right there. This woman wants to do a debate, agreed to the same terms that Dementia Joe agreed to, and then at the last minute decide, hey, I need to change it. I want to be sitting down. I don't want to stand up for an hour and a half. Trump said no. I want to bring notes to the debate so that, I know I'm getting the questions in advance, because she probably is, but I still can't do it. I still can't basically generate an answer that makes sense without me flipping through some notes. So for the next 5 or 6 days, and you trolls, I don't care what you say, she's going into the bunker for 6 days to just basically cram and learn the answer to the questions and practice her zingers. Oh, I'm speaking right now. I'm speaking. No, not going to work. If she doesn't come out, and God forbid she doesn't, if she doesn't come out with her A game on September 11th, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's September 11th, this race is over. Over. The pressure on her is much bigger than the pressure on Trump. She doesn't have the closing ability that Trump has. He's going to be a fire starter for the rest of the election season, all the way through to November 5th. This guy has the energy of the Energizer Bunny. I don't know how. He'll talk to anybody, anywhere. He'll go anywhere. And one of the things I think he's doing that's really, really making a difference, huge difference, is he's not using television so much. Doesn't need to. What he's doing is basically going to the people. He's having these podcasters with tens and millions of people that he ordinarily wouldn't reach. And he's reaching them, and they're responding. And there's a couple people that he probably hasn't gone on yet, but I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive it's coming. Watch out for a Joe Rogan podcast with Trump. I would almost guarantee you it's coming. I think RFK Jr. is going to go ahead and set that up, and that's going to be huge. Bigger than this thing even is. Probably bigger than a debate. And then I would expect that he, Elon Musk, maybe Tulsi, maybe RFK Jr. are going to go back on Twitter/X and do another live spaces. Remember, when he did that, and we were on, we watched it, or listened to it, 1 billion people saw that. Kamala Harris hasn't been in front of 1 billion people probably her entire 3.5 years she's been vice president. 1 billion people have seen that one interaction between he and Elon Musk, which is probably why they're trying their best to shut him up. It's not working. So once he goes back to X and does that live talk, and he goes on with, Joe Rogan and a couple other people, she can't touch him. The interview he just did, I checked it this morning, it had millions of views. She's not getting that kind of input whatsoever. None of it. Can we just have Tulsi go stand in and just crush Kamala like a bug? That would be pretty cool. Hannity grounds Trump, very good pair. Yeah, he keeps him in order, doesn't let him go too far off tangent at all. Please stop the newcomers from voting. Yeah, that's definitely what we need. Woodland Park, Colorado for Trump. You people in Colorado, man, that's crazy. Is the debate? Yes, the debate will be live streamed here. I will basically be doing the same thing you're seeing tonight. interacting with everybody as much as possible. We have a great chat family that comes on. Those of you who haven't been here, you're seeing a different kind of experience. You're allowed to talk to each other. So let's, nope, still going with the commercial. Yeah, talk to each other, get to know people. Some of these people are regulars. They've been here for quite some time. You got some moderators. I'm not sure who's on tonight. SV, Tommy Lawrence, Cinvi, and my daughter Ashley. They're all trying to monitor all these chats. There's just a ton of them. I mean, just an absolute ton. As of right now, there have been over 10,000 comments. Love it. Thank you very, very, very much. If this is your first time, make sure you get back here for the debate. This is what we do here. Subscribe, and do me a favor. It's free. All I need you to do is this.
Come on, show some love and click that like button.
That's all you got to do. Just click that like button. Let YouTube know that you want to be here. They still haven't come back on. Still running commercials. Ashley is here. Yes, she's here somewhere. She's trying to do it as well. There's just so much going on. Let's see what else we got here. Cleveland, Ohio says they're for Trump. USA for Trump. This is going to be so big. All right, here we go here. They're talking about Kamala.
Also have the courage to reject that term illegal alien. The worst of criminal behavior. I have seen the worst of crime. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal.
All right, we continue in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We're broadcasting in front of a massive crowd. By the way, we have in our audience, he is the Republican challenger to a 98.6% Joe Biden, Kamala Harris voting supporter. Dave McCormick is running against Senator Casey in what is a very important race. Dave, great to have you.
Thank you.
Now, you just heard Kamala Harris, our country's failed border czar, talking about her commitment. You need the courage to never say the word radical Islamic terrorism or illegal alien. President Trump is back with us. What is your reaction to that? Because who attacked us on 9/11 and who's crossing our border?
So she wants to be politically correct, and we can't be politically correct anymore. Look, we have October 7th. People saw it. We have things going on in the world right now with Israel and with the Middle East is blowing up. It's blowing up. We have Ukraine and Russia. That would never happen. That would have never happened. October 7th would have never happened. If I were the president, it would have never happened, and everybody knew it. Iran was broke. They didn't have the money for Hamas and for Hezbollah. They didn't have the money for anybody. They wanted to get by. And we would have made a fair deal with them. I was only looking to make a fair deal with them. But, you know, I wanted to say it so much during my term. We went 4 years without any blow-ups. We had no World Trade Center blow-up. We had no radical Islamic terror. We had no radical Islamic terror because we were very tough at the borders and we were very tough with our statements, and we had the whole world was a safe place. That was the question they asked Viktor Orban, who's really considered a very strong. They said he's a strong man. Sometimes you need a strong man. He's a strong man. He's the prime minister of Hungary. And he said, you bring back Trump, everybody. Now, I'm not saying it, but he said it because I'd rather say respect. But he said, everybody was afraid of Trump. You bring him back, you're not going to have any problems. It's all going to go away. The world is blowing up. The world is blowing up.
This brings...
And Sean, one thing?
Yeah.
The world is blowing up. And when you look at Ukraine and you look at Russia, you look at all the things that are happening, we are potentially getting ready. I'm telling you, and I've made a lot of predictions, and this is not a prediction because it's so bad. I don't want it to be a prediction. We're heading into World War III territory. And because of the power of weapons, nuclear weapons in particular, but other weapons also, and I know the weapons better than anybody because I'm the one that bought them and, we rebuilt our entire military. We upgraded our entire program. And you know, the one program I hated to upgrade, hated it, was the nuclear program. And I understand it maybe better than anybody. My uncle was at MIT, a professor, the longest serving professor in the history of MIT, a very smart guy. We have a smart family. It's nice to have a smart family. But I understood nuclear for a long time, the power of nuclear weapons. You need a president that's not going to be taking you into war. We won't have World War III when I'm elected. But with these clowns that you have in there now, you're going to end up having World War III. And it's going to be a war like no other.
Let me ask you a more personal question, because you paid a very big price for getting into the political arena. Never mind opportunity costs that you would have had. You've had a successful business. Obviously, you've been a victim of lawfare, if you will, or a weaponized Department of Justice. Although the Supreme Court ruling on immunity, I think, was very clear, although certain judges may not abide by it.
Yeah.
And I listened to you talk about the borders. I listened to you talk about how dangerous the world situation is. I listened to you talk about the economy.
Oops, sorry, wrong button.
And then I asked myself, okay, why is this different? If 2016 was about the forgotten man and forgotten woman, what is 2024 about?
So it's not that different. It's still about the forgotten man and the forgotten woman. The people are being treated horribly in this country. We're a country that's being laughed at all over the world. And I'll be honest, if Joe Biden would be a great president, I would be happier than being the worst president in the history of our country, because I want to see what's good for the country. And I would have been very happy. I have very nice places I could be. This is not easy. I got shot at. You know, I mean, I got hit. I could have been all over that place. I could have. But you know what? It's very simple. And it starts with make America great again. That's what we have to do.
It makes me think that if you look at everything that we discussed tonight, and you look at your platform,
Thank you.
What really infuriates me, and I'm straightforward, I'm a member of the press, but I'm a talk show host, I'm a conservative, and people know where I stand. I think the press, they're all liberal talk show hosts, but they're dishonest about who they are, and they have an agenda. They've never played Kamala in her own words, her radical statements, her extreme statements, I think dangerous statements. And I just think that if we're talking about the border, all of these 11 million, it was all preventable. I think on the economy, if you had sound economic policy, you handed off 1.4% inflation, we'd be doing better in the economy. We'd be energy dominant by now because we were on a path towards energy dominance.
Thank you.
We wouldn't have to, Iran was in check. You had them on the verge of bankruptcy. Russia, you had a relationship with them, and North Korea and the mullahs in Iran.
But nobody was tougher with Russia than me. I shut down the biggest pipeline in the world that Russia was building. It was called Nord Stream 2. Nobody ever heard of it. And I said, no way. I said to Germany, there's no way we're going to protect you with NATO and spend billions of dollars protecting Europe, and you guys are going to be buying oil from the person and the group that we're protecting you from. And I shut it down. It was 100% shut down. And then this pathetic person comes in, and he immediately approves it. But he shut down the Keystone XL pipeline, our pipeline. And the head of that union, by the way, the pipe fitters union, the pipeline union, the head of that union nominated and was a big deal in the Biden campaign, and he endorsed him. And those people, 48,000 people lost their jobs. It was all approved. I got it approved. Obama rejected it. I approved it. It was starting. They spent billions of dollars. It was also, and they rejected it. It would have been fantastic for us, including the 48,000 jobs. And what he did is he let Russia build the pipeline that I had stopped. It was totally stopped. Going to Germany and other countries. Think of it. We protect them from Russia, and yet they pay Russia billions of dollars. Does it make sense? So I was the toughest on Russia. Putin would even say, you know, if you're not the toughest guy, you are You're killing us. I'd hate to see you if you were really tough. This was the biggest job they've ever had, and I stopped it. And you know what? Russia would have been fine. China would have been fine. China was fine. China paid us hundreds of billions of dollars in taxes and tariffs under me. Under no other president, and I mean right from the beginning, did they pay 10 cents.
You know, we're going to get to audience questions. I do have a question as we go to break. And I think this should be a question asked in every presidential election. And I'll ask the people here in Harrisburg, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Okay. When we come back, more former President Trump. We're in Harrisburg, PA, as we continue.
All right, so they're going to another commercial. It's 9:40. They've got 20 minutes left in the hour. He's probably got another commercial or two in here. Got to get some questions from the people. People are going to trash this if they don't get him talking to the actual people. So from here on out, I hope when they come back, it's all about talking to the actual people. MAGA, make America godly again. Yes, we're going to do our next prayer meeting next Thursday. So next Thursday is the 11th, which is a good day to do it, and it's also the day after the debate. So join us on September 11th for our next prayer meeting. If you're a Christian and you want to be amongst 30, 40, 50,000 other Christians and you have prayer requests, come on and join us in the prayer meeting where we definitely want to see Make America Godly again, Make America Pray again. Let's get it back to where it's supposed to be. Montreal, Quebec loves Trump. Trump is the MAGA king. 43,000 viewers. Thank you very much. If this is your first time, we've built quite the little community here. We love talking to everybody. I love where everybody interacts on their own. Yes, we do have some trolls. They have to come in here. They've been paid. They've been told to attack people. They never have anything good to say. But nonetheless, they're here. So thank everybody for joining us tonight. This is a very special broadcast. Obviously, the debate didn't happen, so he did a town hall. And in my estimation, he is basically slaying Kamala Harris. She has no retort. If she was here, she could come back at him. But nope, he's got the entire stage. He's got basically an audience of probably millions of people who are just seeing him talk again. He's just out there. I know he says a lot of the same things that he says in his rallies, but a lot of people haven't seen these things. I personally have been to 3 or 4 rallies, but nonetheless, you may be new here, and you may be new to the chat, and you're seeing all these people chatting and everything. You're like, whoa, what's going on here? And they're actually responding to you. Enjoy yourself. Relax. You're amongst friends, and I'm glad you tuned in. So let me take a couple more. God bless the Patriots. For sure. Love that. LOL, trolls have no blood. I am from the USA, from DK. We got decades of Vikings hit the shore. Absolutely. A man for the people is Trump. Still running commercials. Kamala is hiding. She's going to be hiding. He's got the stage for the next 6 days. I keep seeing a lot of people, inordinate amount of people from Colorado in here tonight. So whatever's happening out there with the Tres Leches or whatever they're called and what they're doing, I cannot believe that the government hasn't sent in a National Guard and just keeps saying, oh, it's just an isolated incident. Meanwhile, your constituents are being terrorized and you don't want to say anything because you don't want Kamala Harris to be stained. Shame on you. Shame on you. Pongo Ellis from New Orleans. Haven't seen many people from New Orleans. Fight, Patriots. And one of the things you're going to see in here, Vicky, thank you very much. You want to talk about diversity? People that come in here from all walks of life, from all different colors, black, white, Hispanic, Native American. We're all here. We want to save America. Gotta save America. Nobody else is coming. Ask the people in Aurora, Colorado. No one is coming to help them. No one is coming to help the people in Chicago. We're gonna have to make this happen. We're the ones who are gonna have to make sure that all this stuff is taken care of. Long Island, New York for Trump. Love it. Love it. Florida loves Colorado. Yeah, I pray for you guys out in Colorado and what you're going through. It's just absolutely nuts. Whew, big one. Sandra, I usually go through all the super chats afterwards, but I saw it pop up, so I want to thank you right off the bat. Thank you very, very much. It's just me, my daughter, sometimes my wife helps out. We're not getting money from Russia, so everything you guys do is greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Let's see, are they coming back here? Not yet. Jay, Oklahoma for Trump. They better not try that stuff in Stockton, California. The gangs here don't like the competition. Yeah, I did a video yesterday, and I showed one of the American gangs who just went over there and said, no, it ain't happening here. We're taking our country back. I couldn't even imagine. It was stunning that I was watching an American gang going to fight the Tres Leches and saying, not here. This is not in our country. And it made me feel good. I'm like, wow, even an American gang, a bunch of hoodlums, are like, no, not here. Also made me realize they probably can't put him in jail. If they put Trump in jail on September 18th, the homies are going to be there with him. I don't think he's going to be in as much danger as everybody thinks. So who knows what they're trying to do, because everything they're doing at this point, nothing is working. And if on September 10th she gets curb stomped in the debate, watch out for what happens in September 11th and on. What we're seeing in Aurora and Philly and Chicago might just be a dry run. They may get these people activated, and who knows. So here we go. We're back in.
Fighting inflation is one of our administration's top economic priorities.
Was it wrong to consider inflation transitory? I mean, these price spikes seem like they're going to be with us for a while.
We have to address the fact that we got to deal with the fact that folks are paying for gas, paying for groceries, and need solutions to it.
Will you commit to implementing a federal ban on fracking your first day in office, adding the United States to the list of countries who have banned this devastating practice?
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
And it's rough. Groceries, the cost of groceries has gone up, the cost of gas has gone up, and as this is all happening in the context of 2 years of a pandemic, it's one of the highest priorities actually for the president and for me.
That is called Bidenomics. That is called Bidenomics, and we are very proud of Bidenomics.
All right, we continue she's very proud of Bidenomics. With Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, that was Kamala Harris touting her pretty radical beliefs on the economy in her own words. According to Kamala, her values have not changed. We don't know where she stands because she's only done an interview for 16 minutes and 29 seconds spoken. So on the issue of the economy, just how many of you in this room, and you can all close your eyes so you're not looking at your neighbor, have struggled economically in the last number of years? Wow. Wow. And when I started my adult life, I struggled to pay my rent. You know my jobs. I've listed them 100 times, working in the service industry and bartending and cooking and washing dishes and construction. Not McDonald's. That was a lie. And
By the way, she didn't work at McDonald's, right?
She did not. Well, there's no evidence of it.
Did she work at McDonald's? Because
so far, no evidence.
I don't think so, based on what I saw.
Here's my question. She wants to raise corporate taxes. She wants to raise small business taxes, capital gain taxes, estate taxes, the international corporate minimum tax, to the point where America won't be competitive anymore. And your tax cuts are about to expire in 2025.
Yeah.
What does this mean for the economy? What does it mean for everybody here struggling?
So I gave you the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country. If you let the Trump tax cuts expire, which she wants to do, she wants to terminate them. If you do that, you will suffer the biggest tax increase in history. There's never been a tax increase like it. On top of which, she wants to add a lot of tax. This country will end up, and I've said this a lot, and I mean it, This country will end up in a depression if she becomes president, like 1929. This will be a 1929 depression. She has no idea what the hell she's doing.
What if unrealized capital gains taxes were implemented? What would
she
that
wants
do?
to do that. This is where you have something, you don't even know what the value is. I tell you what, if that's going to happen, go out and open an appraisal company, because you're going to make a fortune. That's about the only group that's going to make it, and accountants. It is the craziest idea. And remember this, very rich people and big international corporations, they don't have to stay in the United States. And they will be forced to leave for other countries. They can't afford to do a thing like that. They may have great wealth and no cash, and they're going to have to pay cash. Where are they going to get the cash? If they do that, the unrealized capital gain, it's been talked about for is by ultra-left Marxists only, like her father's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist teacher of economics. Can you believe this? But if that happened, this country, and I think forgetting about that particular, she's got a lot of things that are just as bad. If she gets in, I think we will have a depression. 1929 style depression. That's what I think will happen to our country. Already they've set us on a path.
What about price gauging, as she calls it, or gouging?
Well, she called it gauging.
And what if they implement that and then price controls?
Yeah.
That's been tried in
many times.
The former Soviet Union, Venezuela, even in this country in the 70s, it was a disaster.
Yeah. Every time it's been tried, no matter over hundreds of years, not just over hundreds of years, price controls, you end up with no product, you end up with massive inflation, and you end up with the destruction of a country.
How does this impact? How do high interest rates impact? How does inflation impact everybody that's here?
Well, they can't buy a home. They can't do anything. Your business is stopped up. You can't borrow money. And by the way, I had interest rates at 2%. Now they're 10%, but you can't get the money. You can't get the money. There's no money available. So 10% is right. You know, if you can't get the money, 10% is not the right number. It's got to be much more than that. You can't borrow money to buy a house now.
It really is unbelievable. So we have all of this. Now, let me talk about, in 6 days, you will have probably your only opportunity to debate Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
If I vote instead of George Stephanopoulos' network that I get to moderate the debate. Just saying. Okay. But
you're not going to take questions.
ABC is not.
John, ABC is the worst network in terms of fairness. They had a poll where I was 17 points down a couple of days prior to the election. I was 17 points down in Wisconsin. And they do that so people don't vote because, you know, hey, I love Trump, but he's 17 points down. I'm not going to go out and vote. I was 17 points down and I won. And I called the best pollster. I said, why wouldn't they say 5 or 4 or 3? Because at 3, you go and vote. At 17, your people say, I want to vote, but, you know, I'm busy. I have other things to do. Let's go see a movie and we'll watch the results later. They are the most dishonest network, the meanest, the nastiest, but that was what I was presented with. I was presented with ABC, George Slopadopoulos. You know who he is? And he's a nasty guy. And yet, he's a nasty guy. I've had him up to here. But let me tell you, he's a very, very bad kind of a guy. But I watched his interview of Joe Biden. It was like the softest interview I've ever seen. It was softer than the CNN interview of Kamala. So, but they're very nasty. And I think a lot of people are going to be watching to see how nasty they are, how unfair they are. I agreed to do it because they wouldn't do any other network. The other thing is, her best friend is the head of the network. Her husband's best friend is married to the head of the network. And they're going to get the questions. I've already heard they're going to get the questions in advance. They even have Donna Brazile. Remember Donna Brazile? Donna Brazile, she's the real beauty. Donna Brazile, she gave Hillary Clinton the questions. You remember that? and she works for ABC, and she's at the round table talking about the debate. So we're going to watch very closely, but you're not allowed to do it. We even have a clause in the contract. You can't give them the questions, but I'm not sure it's going to help her that much, though. I think you might give her the questions and give her the answers with the questions. I'm not sure it's going to help her.
I don't know. All right, now, so unlike Kamala Harris, our time is actually up. However,
come on.
We're going to let Dave McCormick ask the first question, and we're going to air that not tonight, but tomorrow night.
He always does this.
Come on, Sean.
I do.
Our time's up, but you know what? Let's make 2 shows out of it.
All right. More with former President Trump as we continue. We are in the all-important state of Pennsylvania in Harrisburg. Thank you for being with us.
I hope that's not it. I hope they come back. I have 9:55. I hope that's not it. I really do. I mean, Sean just kept going and going and didn't even take a single question from anybody in the audience. That's not a town hall. The media is going to rip him tomorrow if that's it. And they're going to rip him anyway. You went an hour talking to people, talking at people. You had the opportunity to separate yourself big time by actually taking some questions, and Sean Hannity was the wrong person to basically host this. Unbelievable. Come on, man. The commercials took up all the time. I mean, this is going to run. Who knows how long they're going to run right now before they come back. I mean, bad. Hannity's ridiculous. You got 9:55. I've got 9:55. We got 5 minutes. They're running a commercial right now. They're maybe have a chance to get one question in, if they can. It was great, but disappointing. I can completely agree. They're going to make it 2 shows, but where's the other show? Where is the other show at this point? Because they're going to go off the air. They're not going to bump. Who comes on next at 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock, I believe, is Gutfeld. Are they going to bump Gutfeld? Who knows? Let's see. Let's run with this. Push Gutfeld. Take some questions. Don't just cut it and leave. That would be horrible. Yeah, Fox is greedy. Hannity failed us. Had an awesome opportunity. See, people call me, I may be biased because I am voting for Trump. I really like Trump, but I'm gonna call it as I see it. This was a missed opportunity. They had thousands of people in the stands. They could have taken questions instead of just going with the flow for an hour. He just said someone is going to ask questions and it will air tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, maybe they're going to do it off the air and take the questions. I don't know. If they do, I'll show it to you as well. It takes Trump. It's a very, very bad show, but still thank you for showing it. Thank you. Second show tomorrow on Hannity. Tomorrow's... Maybe. We'll see. It's Thursday, but I believe he's got another event tomorrow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I'm going to be covering it. So it bums me out. Bums me out that you had a captive audience. You had the entire stage to yourself. You had the entire network to yourself, and you didn't do anything. Part 2 tomorrow. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't have the debate at this point. It doesn't look like Fox really wants him to talk. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe the Fox didn't want him to talk at all. We'll see it. When is the other show and where? Tomorrow he's talking. Let me see where that is. I believe it's a noon show. He's talking tomorrow. I'm checking to see if they're coming back while I'm checking this out. Tomorrow at looks like 11 a.m. he's talking to the Economic Club of New York. So he's going to be in New York City talking to them, which will be better than what Sean Hannity did. So, Hannity failed Trump. Had a huge opportunity here. Huge opportunity. No reflection on you, Barry. Thanks for a great show. I would have done a better job moderating that. Let me see. I'm waiting to see if they come back. It's already 9:58. Come on. Gutfeld should give up the time and let them just keep going. All those people are in the audience in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. They didn't come there to, basically hear Hannity talk like that. Let me see. Still commercials. Trump should not agree to do a debate unless Kamala agrees to do one on Fox. Yeah, it should be fair. Paul Ryan didn't want questions. That's entirely possible. He could have put his thumb on the scale and really caused a problem. Let's see here. Are they going to come back and just say goodbye, or are they going to actually say something? So when will he be broadcasting? Tomorrow at 11, and then again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Trump should not agree to debate unless, let's see, cackles Kamala Harris is the terrorist sympathizer. They're running a lot of commercials, not showing them coming back. It's 9:59. The TV clock, when you talk about TV clock, the insertions for these shows, it looks like they're probably going to come back and go, oh, thank you, good night, and then go right to Gutfeld. Crazy. Maybe this was a setup by Fox just to show the debate. I don't know. But in any event, let's see what they do here when they come back. Are they just going to roll tape and go to a goodbyes? But they're still running commercials. Still commercials are running. Yeah, Tucker would have kept going, for sure. I believe Tucker would have kept it going. Oh, here they're back. Okay.
All right. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have left this evening. Thank you, President Trump. Great to see you. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, Harrisburg. We love you. In the meantime, set your DVR so you never miss an episode. Let not your heart be troubled. Greg Gutfeld is next to put a smile on your face. Part 2 of Donald Trump tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. All right. So you just heard it. Part 2 will be tomorrow night. So they stretched it for monetary purposes. So they decided they were going to go, part 1 tonight to give you the tease, and then they're going to do part 2 tomorrow night. So it looks like we'll all be back here tomorrow night to hear the rest of the story. We're going to do it like Paul Harvey style. Now you know the rest of the story. So tomorrow, 9 o'clock, come back. Please come back. It wasn't my fault. They didn't tell me what their programming was going to be, but tomorrow at 9 o'clock we shall continue. I've got to go through, as always here, and thank you, lovely people who contributed to the super chat. And I want to make sure I call everybody's name that did it. Let me get to that page. You guys are awesome, extremely awesome for doing so. Let's see what we got here. And just get this straight. All right. Oh, wow. All right, so I'm going to go through these. Those of you guys who don't want to stay, that's okay, but I have to recognize some awesome people who did a great thing by helping out the channel. Don't forget, if you're bouncing, come back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. So let's go through this and talk to some of these people who've been so gracious. Barbara Farley, thank you. Edwin Menendez, the sum of all fears, Russia, Russia, Russia. Yes. Let's see here. Ruth McCurdy, Trump does not need Russia to win. He's already won. Diane Bishop, thank you. Jesse Joestar, $20, thank you. Show the clip of Kamala Harris talking about with the swipe of my pen, I can charge someone with the lowest offense video, because that's what they're doing, and that's what they're going to be doing to a lot of people. Anthony Solomon, thank you for showing up. Mike the Plumber, back again. Thank you, very Lord. I pray God bless you and all great Americans spreading the truth. We've called to disciple, 100%. Jim Estrada, thank you. We need an image of President Trump as walking tall Joe Don Baker with a baseball bat taking care of the deep state. I agree. Marty Covey, thank you very much. Thank you for loving the show. Kathy Bennett, thank you. Thank you, very good Trump. Jackie Segafredo, thank you as well. Tricia Whistler, thank you. Mr. Heath, volunteer as a poll worker, election judge. Yes, everybody should be doing that. Severo Flores, Kamala afuera, viva la libertad. I don't speak into Spanish. You got to tell me what that means. Ruth McCurdy, but thank you either way. They send the crap that the good immigrants are seeking asylum from. Yeah, they're not seeking asylum. They're just coming in getting paid. Scott Henry, thank you, Barry. I want to support your platform, and I do appreciate your content. I've learned a lot. You make things understandable. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for watching and for your donation. Mr. Heath again, election judges working in official capacity, more power than poll watchers. You got to get out there. You can't let them steal it again. Can't do it. Go Jean, thank you. for your donation. Mark P, thank you. Joanne Grant, thank you very much. Teeny BB, Hawaii for Trump, mahalo. Thank you for covering this. Thank you for showing up. And how do I know mahalo? My wife lived in Hawaii for quite some time. So, mahalo. Thanks for all you do, Barry. And also, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, so I follow Tua and his family. So I got to know that. In fact, is it still back there? There's a Hawaiian hook down there. Wait a minute. Let me see. There you go. There's a Hawaiian hook right there. Yep, my wife got that for me. KRO, thank you. Anna Rodriguez. Rodrigo Tecador, thank you. Lori Hill. Tommy Guns, what's going on? Trump was nuke mode tonight. He is debate ready. I believe that. John Turner, thank you. Bruce Langworthy. Jeremiah Kerr. Fume Drummer, thank you. Some of you guys have some weird handles. Love it. Captain Zlog. Honeybee, hey, very love you. Thank you. Love you. Jeremiah Kerr again. Pao Jiao Li. I'm sure they already have the questions to study. Yes, he's talking about Kamala. Kerry Lake, Save Act speech covered by X. Yes. Junie, thank you very much. New York for Trump. Thank you for your hard work. Barry says Crazy Horse Racing. Love your channel. Thank you, Helen. Crystal Bullock, thank you for keeping us informed. Barry, God bless you. God bless you. Back at you. Vibenex Lifestyle, thank you. Regina Gwynn, thank you. Miguel Gomez, you rock. Eric Marshall, God bless you, Barry, and God bless all of his children and all of you who watched tonight as well. Tic Tac, God bless Trump. Pray for him. Pray for America. Thank you, Barry. Nancy says Texas for Trump. Lopez Minton, thank you. Corrine Blackman, thank you. Museum Macabre. That's a weird handle, but thank you very much. Lopez Minton says, Tres Leches is Cuban. Stop calling illegals Cuban. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I was making a joke. Red-pilled ex-Democrat for Trump is Earth Daughter. Honeybee, thank you. Many of us have family members who are Democrats. I've been a little successful with educating my nieces, nephews who are 20 and 30 years old. Got to educate them. Suzanne, thank you. Big Cat, back again. Barry, my mom is waiting to see your prep video. I know, I think maybe it was your mom who emailed me. I got to get Robin in here because she did all the prep stuff. Our garage is full of prep stuff. We ready. If it happens, we're going to be ready. Keep doing what you do, Barry. Thank you for bringing it to the people. Says Basement Creations by Rhonda. Wait a minute, did I go past that? Something? I missed something. Something jumped. Oh, I'm going way back. Okay, by Rhonda. Alex, rumor has it that Joe will exit and make her prez. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen as well. I think that if the debate goes south, he's going to resign, she's going to be president, and they're going to try and use that is to give her a bounce, that she's already the president. Because as I said in one of my videos, if they make her president, October, they're going to spend a month just giving her flowers. The coronation will be incredible. She'll be, President Harris. That's coming. I'm pretty sure that's coming. Thank you, Kenny. Toy Wood, thank you very much. They need to stop lying on President Vladimir Putin before they start World War III. That's exactly what they want. They need it. They need something to happen. Those of you who may have some thoughts about what happened today in Georgia. Don't know. Kind of weird that a 14-year-old kid would just do something so crazy. Ashley is asking me when is prayer night. Prayer night is next week, September 11th, with Pastor JJ. So all you guys that want to join us in prayer because this nation needs it, we hold an open prayer night. Anybody can come in. We take prayer requests, and we basically may this time have a team that's helping out as well. Ruby Langdon, thank you. Thanks so much for you and your family. Yes, thank you. Lori Adams, thanks. Leon Combs, thank you very much. Mary Boston, it was awesome, thank you. Bernadette Rivera, thank you very much, everybody. Michael Smithson, Danny Simmons, or Simones, Rebecca from Canada, Alicia Boutwell, Trump Town Hall Part 2 tomorrow, 9 o'clock, be here, we'll do it. I wish they would ask different questions of Trump and then Frank Shashasti. And I may have forgotten this person. I want to make sure that I put that up there. Sandra Bazant, who I talked to earlier, with the big $100 donation. Thank all of you. It's probably one of the biggest streams I've ever had. I had one that was pretty big when the Miami Dolphins were playing back when I did football. But thank you very much. All of you took your time. I know you have lots of options. You decided you wanted to come join me. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you enjoyed your time with the chat family. Hope the trolls didn't bother you too much. Everything is looking really good. Her numbers are tanking hard, tanking fast. Let me just check something before I let you guys go, because this one actually moves by the hour. Let's see what the numbers are at this point, as of right now. I'm looking to see. Okay, here we go. We've got on Polymarket. Ooh, y'all need to see this on Polymarket. Trump has opened up a 7-point lead. A 7-point lead. Remember, a day or so ago, she was ahead. It's flipping. People have had enough of Kamala Harris. Enough. They're done with her. 7 points in just a day or so. Man, she's tripping. It's hurting. And there's nowhere for her to go for the next 6 days. She's disappearing. She's going to be off the road. She's going to be in the bunker, cramming for the debate, and now Trump has the stage to himself. He's going to do this thing tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. He's got a speech at 10 o'clock in the morning, which I'll be covering. He's got a rally this weekend. He's going to be everywhere. And she's already fallen 7 points. That's not good. And then I've got my polling show on Friday, which I'll go over all the polling data to show you how they're lying, how they're trying to prop her up. But she's ditching. She's going down really, really hard. We all expected it. She's got one shot. She's got to do something at the debate. Somehow she's got to resurrect this thing, because by the time we get to the debate, she may be down 8, 9, 10 points. The debate may she may not survive to that point. In fact, if Trump's up 8, 9, 10 points, maybe he just goes, you know what, save it. I don't need it. I'm not going to do it. I'd love to see him just stick it to her. Because these numbers that we're seeing right now, it's bad. And in case you don't know what, let me just make sure I say this, because you may not realize it. You may not know what Polymarket is and why this one is what a lot of people look at. Polymarket these are people who are actually putting their money where their mouth is. They're betting. They're hoping for a return. This isn't just, hey, who are you voting for today? Oh, I'm going to vote for Trump. Yeah, okay, I'm going to vote for Kamala. Thank you. No. These are people who have put their credit card into this site and are actually betting, using their own money, and it's fluid. It happens throughout the day. So this is as of right now. If you can see, let me see if I can move this over a little bit. I want to show you something. Yeah, you can see it. See it right here? That is the time. This is real time right now. It's moving. This isn't some pollster who put something up and he's hoping that you guys can, see who's winning. These are people who are actually putting money in right now. In fact, if I refresh it, it may change. No, it's still 53-46, but it's ongoing. So I think that's something to watch. See you guys tomorrow at 9 p.m. No, wait, before that, tomorrow at about 10:30. Long day tomorrow. Need you here. Let's find out what's going on. He's going to be talking economics in New York. New York City. Where Kathy Hochul is working with a Chinese spy. I don't know how that happened. Thank you all. Have a great night. It's 10:15. Go hug your wife, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. Walk your dog. Have a great evening.